So today I want to start today by saying something personal. I know what it's like to feel like the pain in your family, in your past, in your story is something you inherited, something that isn't really yours, but somehow weighs on your shoulders every single day. I know what it's like to watch patterns repeat, things like that, like broke generations before you, repeating silently in the background while everyone acts like it's normal. And I know what it's like to want to love people, to forgive them, and still feel the weight of all the hurt that's been passed down. But here's the truth I've learned. God doesn't just heal people. He chooses people to heal the cycles. And sometimes that person is you. I remember sitting alone one night thinking about my family, about the ways love was given or not given. I thought about the silence, the fear, all of the misunderstandings, the anger that somehow always found a way to show up. And I realized I didn't want to carry it anymore. I didn't want to repeat what I saw. And that's when I understood what it means to be the one God chooses to break the cycle. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being stronger than everyone else. It's about being willing to see differently, to respond differently, and to love differently. And sometimes breaking the cycle means sitting with your own pain long enough to recognize it, not to hide it, not to justify it, not to any of that, but to transform it with love. And I want to get really honest with you. There are moments in my life where I hated the story I came from. I hated the broken words, the misunderstandings, the fights, the silence, the things I had to survive. And I started to see it in myself. The ways I reacted, the ways I pushed people away, the ways I carried fear and mistrust. It's hard to admit that sometimes we become a reflection of the cycles we're trying to escape. But here's the thing. God is not finished with us yet. No, He's not. And that's what I Love You Back is about. It's about taking those parts of ourselves that are wounded, misunderstood, or overlooked and giving them love. It's about saying to your younger self, I see you, I love you, and I've got you. Because the cycle doesn't end when we push against it with anger. It ends when we respond with love. Forgiving is hard. Forgiving someone who hurt you or someone who didn't know how to love is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. And I want to be real. Sometimes it feels like forgiving is giving up. Sometimes it feels like forgiving is forgetting. But it's neither. Forgiveness is saying, I will not let this pain define me. I will not let this pain control me. I will not pass it on. Forgiveness is choosing love, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. And that is what breaks the cycle. There were moments in my life where I had to forgive even when I didn't even feel like it. Where I had to love even when my heart was screaming no. And every single time I chose love, I felt a little lighter, a little freer, and a little more like the person God intended me to be. That's what I Love You Back is really about. It's about responding to hurt with love. It's about choosing differently than the story you inherited. It's about breaking the cycle, not with anger, not with resentment, not with bitterness, but with love. Love heals. Love transforms. Love frees. When you start choosing love over fear, when you start choosing forgiveness over bitterness, when you start choosing to say, I love you back to the parts of yourself that were never loved right, you're not changing your story. You're changing the story for the next generation. You're showing your kids, your family, and everyone who looks up to you that love is stronger than pain. So today, I want to invite you to make a choice with me. Say it out loud if you can. The cycle ends with me. The pain ends with me. The love begins with me. Because here's the thing. God has chosen you to be a healer. Not because you're perfect, not because you're strong, but because He knows your heart. And your heart is made for love. You're the one who can love differently, respond differently, and heal differently. You are the cycle breaker. You are the one God trusted to say, I love you back to yourself and to the generations that come after you. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Genesis 50:20. I love you back. Always.